Money is very important. And making money is one of the challenges most photographers and videographers face when they're on the come up. Today, we're going to talk about some of the ways that I used to get more jobs coming in to keep a steady income. As a freelance videographer or photographer, usually you have to wear many hats when you don't have any representation. You have to be your own manager, you have to be your own accountant, salesperson, and so on and so forth. In the beginning, when you start, you usually get told to create a portfolio and then use that portfolio to market yourself. But it can be frustrating when people don't care about your portfolio or you're not getting any calls or any jobs because of the portfolio you spend so much time to create. Photography and videography are crafts where you have to be in constant motion to be able to yield any monetary gains. You have to look at the portfolio creation from the point of making projects that you care about. Passion projects, sometimes they're also called spec projects. Alright. Now the more active you are in creating and sharing these projects, the more you are visible to the public and the more you become an option to call. Take it this way, it's sort of being in a classroom where everybody is talking. So you don't get to make out what everybody is making. But the more you talk and the louder you talk, the more you draw attention to yourself and everybody starts to wonder, what is this person talking about? Like it's the same thing that applies to the field of creativity. There are lots of videographers online, there are lots of photographers online. You have to make your work stand out some way, somehow. Now usually they will tell you to find a niche, all right, and then create for that niche. But then again, we know that when you're up and coming, you just want to experiment and explore with your camera. You don't want to tie yourself down. And also sometimes you will say you are you are into portraits or you are into, let's say, events, but then you realize that the work coming in, they are all over the place, and you needing money, you're not gonna turn down certain jobs coming from somewhere that is outside your niche. All right, you end up going to try it out, and you might enjoy it. And yes, it's even good to try out a whole lot of different niches to see what best suits you. Okay, but then again, instead of thinking of a niche, another way to stand out is to do more. If you look at the big brands, let's say Coca-Cola, the big brands that you know, all right, the way they do their marketing and their sales is they make sure their product is in your face that you cannot avoid it. All right, you see their product on billboards, you see their products on the TV, you see their product, you hear about it on the radio. Okay, even if you're not convinced to try it out, they talk about it so much that you get to the point where you feel like, all right, let me give it a go. I've been seeing it everywhere. Let me try it and see how good it is. And then the minute you try, you realize that you are hooked, and then you keep on raving about it. It's the same with music. All right, sometimes an artist will do a song, you hear it for the first time, and maybe you don't enjoy it, but you get on YouTube and it's there, it's playing. You go out to eat and they are playing it. You are in the car, you hear it on the radio. You cannot escape the music to the point that you feel like, I'm actually enjoying this song. It's not a bad song. And next thing you know, you've added it to your playlist. Now bringing that back to the photography and videography world, people are actually watching what you do online. Sometimes we might be talking about a whole lot of other things that we care about online, but the reason why they are there following you is they're there to see what you can give them. So the more you create, post, even if they are not liking it, they are still seeing what you do. All right, and at the back of the mind, it paints a picture that this person is known for this, that person is known for this. I like this person works. So the more they see it, the minute something should come up and they're like looking for somebody to do something, you become an option to explore. Let's say their go-to person is not available for a shoot for them, but because you flooded their minds with your work so much, it reminds them that you are available and then you can do it, and They call you, you go do the job, you give it your best, and the next thing you know, you've already hooked them as a client. That is basically the formula to putting yourself out there. If you just create a portfolio and you just show it to people, oh, this is my portfolio, this is what I do. Yes, they see it, but right nowadays our attention spans are so fickle that yes, they might have seen your profile somewhere, but then they forget. All right, people tend to jump onto what is always in their face, and that's what they go for. Now, as easy as this sounds, it takes a lot of effort and discipline to be able to create every day. Not even every day, to be able to create most times. Let's say you want to do something once a week, or let's say twice a week, or let's say 3 times a month. You're gonna have to set and maintain a disciplined structure to create on a regular without any monetary gains. Just tap into your passion and just create, knowing that you're not gonna be paid for it. And also sometimes creating ideas or bringing ideas to life, it takes money. And since you're not making money from any of the things you are doing, it can be very difficult. It becomes a catch-22 where you're not making money from it, but you're spending money from it. And if you don't create anything, then nobody sees what you are doing. So it's like you're doomed either way. An easier way to tackle this is to not to overcomplicate the ideas that you have in your mind. Use what's accessible to you. Use what's within your surroundings. Usually when we get inspired to create something, we want to go big. It's like, I want it nice and big, or I don't want to do it at all. All right, and this can be detrimental to you because you start visualizing it, you start putting things down, you get into motion, you calling people, and then you realize that you hit an obstacle because you can't get something for the idea that you have. You cannot shoot it from this angle, you cannot shoot in this place, you cannot get the clothes that you need, the location that you have in mind, you cannot get it because it is out of your reach. What you have to do is keep it as simple as possible and also creative. Make it look simple but nice. Make it look simple, but somebody will see it and then be wondering, maybe I'm sure you guys probably spent a lot of money on this. Now, ideas come a dime a dozen, and it's in the execution that is where the work is, how you execute it. The same idea can be executed in so many ways to make it look like a big budget or a small budget. It depends on how creative you are. That's when you have to do research and homework. You have to do your homework and then look for ways to make it look that good. Now, another thing you can look at is to reach out to like-minded creatives. All right, you know, people who is a makeup artist, somebody who is a fashion designer, even other videographers or other photographers, and then tell them that, hey, let's create a group where every Monday or every Thursday or every 2 days in a week we go out there and then we make something and we all contribute our resources. It doesn't have to be money. It can be just as simple as producing what your potential. All right, if I'm a photographer, I'll take the pictures, I'll work on it, and if you are the model, you can have the images and then use that images for yourself as well. If you're a makeup artist, you use that, you can have the work to sell your skills as well, because they all need it. In this day and age, everybody needs content to market themselves one way or another. So if you can bring together people who have this same ideology and this same discipline, right? And that's the key word, discipline, because if you go just create any group and when it's time to show off for something, everybody is giving excuses, it's going to fall apart. If you get able to band all these people together and then create on the regular, okay, just churn out work, just create. It's even going to help improve your skill, and at the same time also, it helps create the impression on people that, okay, let me go to this guy for his work because I like it. When I first started out, I didn't have any insight into making portfolios or into creating anything. I just wanted to have fun with the camera, and I just wanted to to learn the craft. I just wanted to be able to improve on myself. So what I did was, I had a friend who was a musician, and I just called him up and told him, I like your music, which I genuinely did. Right now, would you be down to create a music video with me? And he said yes. So the agreement we had was, I bring my gear, my skills, and then he brings his talent, and we had to invest some money into hiring certain things. When it came to it, it was a mutual effort to create something good. Now, we did so much work that it came to the point everybody thought I was in the business of making music videos, which I basically wasn't. I was just trying to learn and have fun with it. And then they started reaching out for me to make their music videos. And at that point, I couldn't even deny it anymore. I was like, all right, I'm going to charge you for this and that. And that was the start of my filmmaking business. That was basically it. Another thing we get told all the time as freelance videographers or photographers is to network. Now, one big mistake we always make as creatives is we usually tend to network a lot more with people in our craft than people who actually need our services. You will check a photographer's network or his circle, and everybody he's sharing his work to are all photographers or videographers. All right, you check a videographer and it'll be the same thing. You go check their online presence, and their followers and followings is all other creatives. Now, if you do this, it sort of creates a circle where it's like you're in a pool, and even though you're not competing with everybody, it sort of looks like you guys are competing because you are looking and comparing and trying to sort of put yourself somewhere in the status level that you are good or not. As you realize that you don't even have to be the best to be needed by people. All you have to do is leave that circle of creatives and then go to different mixers, different networking groups, such as people who own businesses, people who are into corporate. Go and then be bold enough and sell yourself. All right. Even though you might think you are a photographer, they need you. Okay, you need to have some sort of confidence to approach them, and people take you as serious as you take yourself. So if you go and you're downplaying what you do, they're not gonna take you like, oh, this is the person we need for this and that. If you talk a good game, you are gonna get the work. That is basically it. That's networking with other people in the same field, and more networking with people who don't know nothing about your craft but need your services. That's what you have to do to get more clients signed up. Lastly, you have to remember, building a successful career in videography or photography takes a lot of time, discipline, and dedication. You have to be patient and enjoy your journey as a videographer or as a photographer. And the more you have fun on the journey and not thinking about the final destination of how to make it big or how to make money, the more you're gonna attract more people towards you and wanting to work with you. Now, if you liked and enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And also leave a comment as in what you think about some of the other ways you can get more work as a videographer.